Hi everyone. So Bernie has won Wyoming by 12. Um, he and Hillary split the delegates anyway. It's amazing, the bias and the delegate rigging is more and more prominent each and every day. It should have been an 8-6 split because I did the math, and 56% of 14 is around. It's around 8 delegates. 56% of 14, yeah, that's about, it rounds closer to 8, and it should have been an 8-6 split, but, delegates, one delegate, we're just going to allocate. I get it if it's like, if there are more delegates and you make an error that way with, if there's like 86 delegates like in Wisconsin or like in Minnesota or Colorado, I get it. If it's that high, I can understand errors being made that way. I can't understand when it's so close that you have to make it an even split to attempt to bias against Bernie even further. That really sucks, and it shows how biased you are, mainstream media, corporate media, donors to Hillary's campaign who are rigging the election for her. Wow, it's so understandable as to why my generation hates the Clintons, me included. So Hillary's just, well, like I said, Hillary is just unbelievable. She goes and appears on BET's, I think it's titled Black Lives Rock. I can't remember the name. I think that's what it's called. I'm not trying to be racist. Please forgive me if I misspoke. Please, I'm trying to not be racist. But I saw where she appeared on that, and it's like, Hillary, you don't do that. You don't just appear on there and try to steal spotlight. That's just like, wow, yeah, me. You just don't do that. I mean, you're wanting to make yourself seem like a celebrity rather than a politician. You're a politician, You're a politician, not a celebrity. Do you know that? You know that? And for your husband to defend that crime bill the way he did, he could have done it in a nicer way, saying, he could have said that in a nicer way. He could have apologized. He could have been kinder about what he said. He didn't have to insult those young kids' intelligence, but he did anyway. And the one protester I saw in the back, he was bawling his eyes out, saying, and his protest sign said, "Black kids are not super predators." I mean, God bless him, man. He was just so upset over everything racist about that crime bill. It's so sad. It's a good thing the younger generation, including younger African Americans, they're learning more about the Clintons and how bad of people they are. Let's just, the Clintons, they care more about aliens than African Americans. Let's be honest about that. They care more about aliens more than African Americans. Of course, Obama cares about aliens too, but I don't think he's necessarily racist about anything. I don't think Obama, well, he may not have done much for the African American community, but I don't see him as racist himself. Clintons are definitely racist. Let's hope she doesn't get the alien vote. I hope they rejected her. Just the votes are coming. We were at Hillary Clinton. Seriously, there are times, she's like George W. Bush, basically. There are times where it's hilarious, and there are other times where it's infuriating, and I'm sorry, I can't stop comparing them. I mean, hell, former presidents Bill Clinton and George W. Bush have appeared together at rallies. They're not enemies, they're best friends. It shows, and Bill Clinton also met with Paul Ryan in 2011 on the discussion of Medicare. What were they doing together, having a friendly conversation the way they were having it? They were discussing how to get rid of Medicare. That was before Obamacare had officially passed. So that's not Obama's fault. That's Bill Clinton's fault for being a Republican in a Democratic establishment, I guess. So they may run as Democrats, the Clintons, but they're Republicans. I mean, I read that Bill Clinton might be suspected of murders when he was governor of Arkansas. I think that's his home state, Arkansas. Yeah. He's been suspected of covering up serious crimes in Arkansas. I think there was one that was in like 1988, the election year before he ran as president. It's crazy. And Hillary Clinton campaigned for Barry Goldwater when she was really young, and he opposed the Civil Rights Act. I think he even destroyed the Voting Rights Act. I'm just trying to make the case that Hillary Clinton is not somebody you want to elect, And I know Obama said something about a left-wing Tea Party mentality. Some of you may disagree. What I think he means is he might be saying this in coded language, which in this case I think it's a good way he said it. I think he might be saying if they elect a Democrat like Hillary Clinton, I think he's saying this without trying to directly say it and piss the establishment off. Saying if they elect a Democrat like Hillary Clinton, he's basing this off of the 2016 presidential race. If they elect a Democrat like Hillary Clinton, then the Democratic Party will face a Tea Party mentality. See, a lot of people misunderstand that, or he might have meant it differently, but that's my take from it, is if they elect Hillary Clinton, which who he says he's endorsing, as well as Debbie Wasserman Schultz, that's just to cater to the establishment so he doesn't piss him off. He's saying that if you endorse, basically, if you elect the candidates I endorse, we're gonna have the Tea Party is gonna make its way into the Democratic Party, which is to the left of what you see on the screen there. Basically, the Tea Party will walk in there and they will, well, it's not like the right wing of the party's far to the right enough. I mean, like people have said, they moved off a cliff and they've fallen to the bottom of the mountain and probably damaged a few cars on the way and jacked the insurance up on the people whose cars were damaged. So that's a ripoff. I mean, the Democratic Party going there too, Democratic Party will become the Republican Party if it's skewed far enough to the right. I mean, probably has already done that. But, it's just, well, I don't understand why Hillary Clinton is still competitive, ahead even, with all this new evidence coming out. Some of these people just don't want to do research at all, and that's infuriating because what we're saying is the truth. Seriously, it should cost Hillary not only the black vote, but her registration to run for president of the Democratic Party. It should remove her from the presidential ballot. But the establishment is like, we gotta protect her, and, we love her, we give her so much money, she loves us back. Oh, cuddles, rainbows and unicorns. Oh, wait, that's Bernie Sanders. Rainbows and unicorns. Actually, in some ways, yeah. And I mean this in a good way. Rainbows and unicorns, basically, I would take it a step further and say a utopia. Rainbows and unicorns What's wrong with saying it's rainbows and unicorns? I think that's a compliment, really. And I mean that, like, in a peaceful, kind, and just a great place to live. It's peaceful. The people there are really nice. They're always helpful. Why wouldn't it want to be rainbows and unicorns? I mean, come on. But yeah, Bernie won Wyoming. He's added that to his winning streak, and they need to allocate the delegates accordingly, which they're probably not going to because they're the establishment and they hate fairness and they don't understand that they're going to lose the young generation and they're going to go down the crapper at some point anyway. But, you know, they're just, at this point, they realize they're going to lose one way or the other, so they're just like, fuck it. Let's be as assholish to the young generation as we can. Let's mislead people as much as we can to where they don't know a damn thing. It's amazing. The bias just keeps growing. And, you know, that the thing, why, if the Clintons are winning in New York, why attack Bernie as aggressively as they're attacking him? You're winning in the state you need to win in. Why attack? Why? I mean, why? Seriously, why? Why? It's probably because of states ahead of New York that could really help Bernie overtake Hillary's lead anyway, which would be awesome. I think that probably can happen. The delegate totals with superdelegates are still misleading. Bernie's really behind by about 216, 214 delegates. Should have been 212 or 214 today. But, you know, establishment rigging the election to make it a tie, to make it seem like Hillary has momentum when she doesn't. Arizona was the tipping point. They're still investigating it, and it's likely that they may get to do a recount. Interesting. Hillary might not win Arizona after all. Bernie flipped Nevada to his side, and Missouri. Hopefully what they say about Missouri is true, and Bernie can make a net gain of, it says 60 delegates, but it might actually be about 20 or 30, but that's still big. So if that is true, maybe this Wyoming thing could be put behind us, but no, I want him to take one Wyoming delegate away from Hillary and give it to Bernie because the actual math shows that Bernie should have 8 delegates and Hillary should have 6. And I'm talking pledge delegates. But look, to be fair, California's looking a lot better for Bernie. They're letting independents vote. You know, he's gaining in the polls there. He's still got time to take the lead there, so there's plenty of time for California. Bernie just needs to focus mostly on New York and Pennsylvania, maybe Maryland. But Maryland, he's expected to lose there. He needs to try and make up ground there, but if Maryland is really the only state he loses, you know, as long as he doesn't lose too bad, he'll be fine. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. And as always, to my fellow Bernie Sanders supporters, feel the burn. Thanks.